What up, YouTube? It's Thief. People have been asking me to do an account overview, so here it is. This is my main account. I've been playing this account for, let's see, 298 days, so I'm almost at 300 days, and this is my main account. I have spent money on this account. My other account, my alt account, I have not spent money, so I just wanted to do this quick account overview so people can see what I've accumulated over the 300 days of playing this game. So we'll start off with schematics. We'll go through my schematics real quick, starting off with ranged weapons. Right, you can see right there, those are all the hunter killers I got. So I got my physical build hunter killer for it's actually a buzz cut, but buzz cut is the same exact thing as a hunter killer. All right, this one I went with the critical build, but my 130s I went with the damage headshot build, and always on assault rifles I use magazine size. So that's the physical version. And then I've got this one, which is my nature, and I got, well, that's the fire, excuse me. Oh god, what are we doing here? So I got my fire hunter killer, I got my nature hunter killer, and I got my water hunter killer, and all of these are exactly the same. They're the damage headshot damage builds with damage to afflicted on them, and they all have magazine size. So a mirror image minus the element. And then moving on to my 106s, I'm actually building this and respecing this to be my physical 106 hunter killer. All of my 106s are going to be the crit chance crit damage builds. As you can see right here, I'm done with this buzz cut. It's crit chance and crit damage, and then magazine, and then damage to slowed and snared. So these are affliction, and then these are slowed and snared builds. But they're all built exactly the same, and this one will be my physical one, which is going to be built exactly the same. Moving on, I got my Dragoon. This, once again, this gun is the most used gun that I have. I use this gun more than any other gun. I used it on every hero I play. Just an awesome gun. You can see my Dragoon right here is a crit chance, crit damage build, and then I got energy on it and damage to afflicted. You don't really want snare on this Dragoon or Thunderbolt. You want affliction on it, because the first shot, whatever the first shot doesn't kill, it's gonna bleed out from the affliction. And then I have my helium shotguns, right? So I was using this snare helium shotgun in Horde Bash or Challenge the Horde, but I switched over to this one. I'm gonna re-roll that durability to a magazine size, but I'm still working on it. But it kills stuff, so there's really no reason to perk it up. But yeah, that's my helium shotgun. I wish I could get some of the perk up back for this, but that's really not the way the game works. So we'll continue on. And now I got more hunter killers. This is a snare hunter killer. I set some of these aside. I wanted to level them up, but the buzz cuts ended up coming out again, so I just worked on the buzz cuts instead. All of these are my old 106 hunter killers. They're the 5 headshots in a row. We got this one, well, this one, and this one. I was using these. I really don't like that headshot perk. It's really hard to maintain uptime on that headshot perk. One of the hardest 6 perks in the game to activate and keep it rolling. So I kind of trashed those. I wish I could get some of the perk up and re-perk back for those, but once again, that's not how the game is working right now. I got a few siege breakers that I was working on. Here's a fire one, here's a water one. These still need a lot of re-perking. I had a bunch of super shredders that I was going to level up, but I ended up leveling one up and using it, and I didn't really like it. Moving on to my tiger jaw. This tiger jaw right here is an awesome build. It's a crit chance, crit damage build, magazine size damage to afflicted. Really haven't needed to level this up to 130 because it does enough damage as it is. So eventually I'll have one of each element tiger jaw that look just like this. I'll probably level them up to 130 And then here I've got a bunch of hunter killers on deck that I'm going to, you know, re-perk and perk up and do some testing on. I have plans for future testing. I've got a bunch of ground pounders that I have set aside that I'm going to level up. These haywires are also set aside that I'm going to level up. Eventually I'll have one of each haywire, storm, one of each element, and that's for playing the ranger. Another hunter killer. I mean, I've got hunter killers coming out of the wazoo. I got these husk busters. I only have 2 of them, so I'll probably end up putting energy on these husk busters. The husk busters are just a reskin of the Stampede. It's a decent shotgun. And then moving on, I've got some room sweepers that I'm going to upgrade and re-perk, but the re-perk farm is really brutal, so I just haven't gotten to all of these. Now the rest of these are just guns that I have set aside. This is a fire silent specter. I leveled up a water silent specter, but I tried it, I really didn't like it. Moving on, these are a bunch of legacy weapons. I got this bald eagle. This bald eagle has pretty good crit chance, crit damage, so I haven't re-rolled it. I probably could get more crit chance and crit damage from them if I re-rolled it, or I probably could get more DPS from them if I re-rolled it, but I just haven't had the need to re-roll them. I got my bolt. My bolt has not very good rolls. It has decent rolls. Haven't really perked it up because it serves its purpose. And then right here you can see this is my legacy Dragon's Breath. When slotted with a ranger, it's 100% crit chance with like 280% crit damage, so that's one of the legacy weapons I haven't re-rolled. I'm gonna keep that around. That's probably the only one that I would not re-roll. I've got my Easter egg launcher. I don't really use launchers that much, but when I do, I typically use the Easter egg launcher and the noble launcher. I haven't put these into the perk recombobulator just because I'm lazy. Well, I think this one, maybe this one is, let's see. Yep, this one's been put in the perk recombobulator. Let's see if I did the Easter. Yep, I already did the Easter egg launcher. But launchers do enough damage. They really don't need to go through the perk recombobulator. But it's whatever. I don't really use launchers in this game, but if you're one that uses launchers, go ahead and put them through the perk recombob. You can see right here, I got another siege breaker on deck. This was a legacy one that I re-rolled. Pretty much the only rolls I need to change on this is the damage to crit chance and the durability to magazine, and this one will be ready to go. But with the hunter killers, there's really no reason to use a siege breaker. I got this silent specter. I leveled this all the way up using the crit chance, crit damage build. Up close it does really good damage, but I really didn't like it too much because next to the hunter killers it's just meh, you know what I mean? So a lot of people like this gun. If you got these guns, level them up. They are a good alternative if you can't maintain trigger speed on the hunter killers. It's a very good alternative to the hunter killer. This is my super shredder right here. I leveled this up and perked it up specifically to kill blasters. It does pretty good, but the issue is, like, the guns that I use work a lot better, so I really haven't used it too much. I got my legacy Thunderbolt right here. This is a really good Thunderbolt. I didn't put it through the perk recombobulator just because, for keepsake. I haven't used it, but because I have the Dragoon. But this was the Thunderbolt that started it all, got me to love this gun, so I really haven't converted it over. I got my typewriter. My typewriter is max perk. It just needs a little bit of re-rolling right now. I'd have to change some perks on this to make it work properly. I'd have to change, like, let's see. The reason why I stopped on this is because I would have to, so I'd have to roll damage here, and then I'd have to roll crit damage here. And so that would be a full damage build. 1 crit chance and 2 crit damage and a damage build. and that would be a decent gun. But I mean, the gun does enough damage as it is, so I kind of got discouraged from leveling it up or reperking it, because farming and reperk in this game is really not fun. But yeah, that's the typewriter. Once again, I used that and I really didn't like it. You got my Wraith. I leveled it up just to test it out. Really didn't like the Wraith too much, because when you strafe with the gun, the bullet spread becomes unmanageable. I saw one of Gumby's videos. Gumby's like, you have to decrease your frame rate to 60, and you have to do all this to make the gun work properly. You can't have any rate of fire perks on it or be on heroes with rate of fire perks, and it's just like, why would I do all that to make the gun work properly? So there's really no reason for me to use it. Don't like it that much. There's my Gravedigger right there. My Gravedigger's max perked. Haven't done any reperking to the Gravedigger because the Gravedigger rolls are perfect. You don't need to mess with the Gravedigger at all. See, a lot of people put energy on it. I don't understand why somebody would make a gun do 25% less damage. Really no reason to mess with the Gravedigger at all, as it is a great gun from the factory. I've got a bazooka right here. I was using this bazooka during Horde Bash. Didn't really level it up, but it was doing pretty good damage in Horde Bash, so it served its purpose. I'm not really using it anymore because, once again, I don't really use launchers. I got 2 Bobcats on deck that I'm gonna level up. The Bobcat is a really good gun, but I just really haven't gotten around to it. I leveled up the Bowler the other night. The Bowler is a really fun weapon to use, man. It like shoots husks all over the place. It's got, it's similar to the Dam Buster, just the gun mechanics work a little bit different. It's got really great impact. I have my Founder's Deconstructor. I used this gun for a really long time. It's a really good base shotgun. I liked it a lot, and just moved on to other things. I've got a Ground Pounder that I was leveling up. It's an energy Ground Pounder, but the Ground Pounder is a really good gun if you don't have a Tiger Jaw or a Room Sweeper. This is a smasher killer. And then I've got my Hacksaw. Didn't really mess with the Hacksaw too much. Don't like LMGs. If I was going to mess with LMGs, 3 Hacksaws is the way I would go. This is probably the best LMG out of all of them, because you can put one of each element on them and do 100% of your damage. I got my Heartbreaker. I put energy on. I keep this around just for memeing. Fun gun. I was using it on Tedshot Jess, but really, like, in reference to damage output, not that good of a gun, but it's a fun gun. I've got my Jackal Launcher. The bazooka is better than the Jackal Launcher, but the Jackal Launcher is rare, so it's whatever. I've got this Long Arm Enforcer that I was using. It's a pretty decent gun with a pretty decent range. I use this sometimes, but I kind of switched over to the Helium Shotgun, so this gun kind of got kicked to the curb. You got the Mercury LMG. It's a decent LMG if you don't have any guns, but the problem is it's energy, so you're doing 25% less damage to all elementals, so it's totally crossed off my list in reference to damage output. It's nowhere in the consideration for being like one of the best guns in the game, because you can't re-roll the energy off of it. I got my Nocturno. You could see I wish I would have Obsidian the Nocturno, because then I could trade it for herbs. I mean, there's not much to say about the Nocturno. People like it a lot because they like the skin, but not really a good gun. Got my Obliterator. This is probably the most useful sniper rifle out of all of them, because it has a purpose. You can clear out buildings with it. The sniper rifle's DPS output is just not very good, so I haven't put any amount of time into sniper rifles. And then right here, I've got 2 Room Sweepers on deck to be perked up. I got my Snowball Launcher. This is probably one of the first launchers that I've leveled up. It's really good against fire husks. It snares everything, so I leveled it up. Once again, I don't really use launchers that much, but for the launchers that I do use, I think I use like the Snowball Launcher, the Jackal Launcher, and so that's, and then I use this one right here. So I got nature, water, fire. I got 3 super shredders on deck to be leveled up right now. Really haven't paid them any attention because they're not really good in damage output in reference to other guns out there, so there's really no point to level them up in my opinion. And then I've got a thunderbolt right here that I was using until I got my dragoon. Right here I have 3 tiger jaws that I am upgrading to be fire, water, nature, you know. So the tiger jaws that I talked about earlier, these are the ones that I'm leveling up. All right, I've got a triple tap that is 2 perks short from being max perked. I wish I could have all of the perk up and re-perk back from this gun, because just the damage output for this gun is just meh. I don't like it at all. Hindsight's 2020 though. I got my vacuum tube launcher. The good thing about the vacuum tube launcher is that it stuns enemies, so it's kind of cool. And then it's nature, so when you're going against the opposing element, you have a nature launcher. I have a vendor tech disintegrator right here. It's got affliction on it. Allura really likes this gun. I don't enjoy this gun that much. I like the dragoon a lot better. The good thing about this gun is it's got range, so if you want to do AoE range, this gun is a little bit better than the dragoon. So if you got one, set it aside and level it up. And then the rest is just guns that I have set aside that I haven't leveled up. I'm not going to sit here and go through all of my legendaries. I have a lot of legendaries, so I just keep them around just because. And then let's see, melee weapons. I don't have that many melee weapons. I've leveled the typical ones up. I've got 3 of these fishing hooks that I'm going to put elements on, so I can play harvester properly. I got a Krypton sword. I've got the blazing mass immune. I got another Krypton sword, and then most of these were for like testing melee tunes. I've got a pulverizer, which is a pretty decent gun, pretty decent hammer. Somewhere down here I've got a vendor tech hammer though, so there's a slammer right there. If I wanted to re-perk it, I could re-perk it and make it like double attack speed, but there's really just no reason to. And then traps. Let's get into traps. All right, I've got every trap at least leveled up to 106, and the traps that I use the most I got leveled up to 130 and 106. So I've got my super sweaty blue wooden floor spikes. You don't need to put any re-perk into these wooden floor spikes at all. These serve a purpose, and it's to snare the husks. It's not to do damage. I've got my, I think this is a legacy ceiling electrical field. Maybe not, I don't know. Don't use the ceiling electrical field a lot, only when there's water husks. I've got my 130 gas trap. It's got all damage and 1 reload. Not the sweatiest setup in reference to Gumby's chart about, you know, what are the best rolls. I think the double crit damage, crit chance, and then 1 damage roll was the best. I don't really know though, but this gas trap right now is enough to kill. It serves its purpose. It kills everything like below a husky husk, and then I'm left to clean up with, you know, rifles of whatever else is coming through. This is a legacy gas trap. This is the gas trap that I was using before. And then I've got, you know, my cozy campfire and a healing pad. Don't really use those too much. The tire trap, don't really use it too much. I got another 106 ceiling gas trap with the exact same rolls as my 130 to conserve like materials. And then going down, I put these through the perk recombobulator, but I really haven't messed with them that much. I've got my floor launcher with 3 impacts and 2 reloads. Let's see what else. Oh, I've got my wall launcher. My wall launcher is leveled up. Don't care about the durability, so I didn't really level that up. And I've got wall lights. So I take that back. The only trap that I don't have leveled up is the wall spikes. There's really not a reason to level up wall spikes in my opinion. Never ever use them, not once. And then patrol words, really no reason to level up patrol words. They don't have any perks on them, so they don't get more powerful, and it costs the exact same to, you know, craft them. So it's really a waste of evolution materials and you know, schematic XP to level them up. What else? I think that's it for traps. All right, but yeah, typically all you need is a gas trap, wall launcher, and then wooden floor spikes, and you are in like Flynn. Those are the best traps in the game. Really the only ones you need to use. You don't really need to use traps until you get to high canny, but if you want to be sweaty, just level up those 3 traps, and those, in most situations, those are the only traps you'll ever need. All right, moving on to heroes. All right, you can see that I have all of the mythic heroes leveled up to 130 right there. Not because they're good, but because they're mythic. All right, the only really useful mythic tune that I have is, I guess, Master Grenadier. So these 3 mythics, I use them for Mega Base. I use him because he's a decent mythic. Master Grenadier, I use her for her support bonus, and then Phase Scout is just an awful class. I use her for her tactical bonus, but if you have Field Agent Rio, you can use her for the tactical bonus. It's the same. It's the best in slot on a ninja. It gives you sneaky. But other than that, the rest of the mythics are just not very good. Sid, I guess, is good as a melee constructor. He's probably got the highest damage output melee wise of all the of all the constructors. But for the most part, none of the mythics are really good. But moving on, I got a Berserker. Berserker's not that good. It's decent. It's better. It's got higher damage output than any of the Outlanders, except for maybe Ranger. Because most of the Outlanders are centered around AoE, not single target DPS. The Outlanders' guns don't do that much damage, so pretty much the Outlander is an AoE class or a trash class. They're doing the job of traps, so any soldier with traps does more damage than most of these Outlanders out here. I've got the Birthday Brigade Ramirez leveled up. I recycled my Jonesy, my Sergeant Jonesy, and now I have the bonus from her. Not a very good soldier, but once again, she falls into that same category as being better than any of the Outlanders out there. I got my Bloodfinder AC, that's my Pathfinder. I've got Brawler Luna. Brawler Luna is a pretty decent single target DPS, but she's melee, and melee is not very good in this game. I've got Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm is one of the top ranked soldiers out there. He does pretty decent single target damage. If you have a Bulletstorm, level it up. It's a good alternative for like Urban Assault. If you don't have it, you do go through a lot of bullets with Bulletstorm, but he's a pretty fun tune to play. He's got Warcry, but pretty decent. I've got Commando. I played Commando a little bit. The Commando's Going Commando is pretty decent. It's energy damage. And it's on a much shorter cooldown than the rest of the soldiers Going Commando. If you have him, try him out. He's a pretty decent soldier, plus he's got a tactical bonus that is really good for like Reclaimer and Enforcer Grizzly. I think I don't think it stacks with Enforcer Grizzly, but he's got the Grizzled Veteran, increases your Teddy by 5 seconds. So one thing to take note of in reference to his tactical is if you compare him to Commando Spitfire, his hero ability damage is higher than Carbide. So Commando Spitfire is a hero ability damage is 20.2 in reference to Carbide. So don't use Carbide in your tactical slot because you're getting more HAD with Commando Spitfire, right? And your healing modifier is higher. Don't pay attention to any of this. None of this matters. The hero ability damage is where it's at. So those of you that are using Carbide that have a Commando, use Commando. Commando is a lot better. Moving on to Deadly Blade. I got a Deadly Blade leveled up. He's a pretty decent alternative to Brawler Luna or Swordmaster. He's got like some crit chance and crit damage in his tree for single target DPS. Pretty decent melee tune. Once again, he's a melee tune. Melee is not very good in this game. Got demolitionist. If you want to spam rockets, demo penny is pretty decent. You just put down your base and you get some, durability buffs, and you can sit there and spam rockets. I got dim mac. Dim mac is rated right below the dragon in AoE, along with shuriken master. Played her a little bit, but she is not really good against nature husks because the nature husks just steal all of your energy. It's not very fun when you're up against nature husks, but a pretty decent class if you're coming up. I've got double agent leveled up. I use double agent in my tactical slot for urban assault for the increased AoE. Haven't played her too much. She's not very good as a soldier to play, but she's a very good tactical bonus. Enforcer Grizzly, the best Teddy Outlander right there. If he had fragment generation, he would be by far the best, but he's right in between like Reclaimer, but he's got most of the best Teddy buffs, right? He's got snare, he's got increased range. I think in total it's 8 tiles on his Teddy, and then he's got increased fire rate. First Shot Rio, I've got her leveled up as well. First Shot Rio is a really good single target DPS tune. She is a best in slot tactical bonus for the Raider. So if you have her and you're running something else in the Raider slot, increase Warcry by 5 seconds is really OP. I've got Reclaimer. Reclaimer's pretty decent compared to Enforcer. I'd put her right below Enforcer Grizzly. Enforcer Grizzly is a better Teddy Outlander, but she has fragment generation, so in some situations she's better than Enforcer Grizzly. I've got Guardian Bull. I don't know why I think I leveled Guardian Bull for a tactical bonus. Let's see. Plasma Boot. Yeah, I leveled her up for Brawler Luna. Her Crescent Kick applies Affliction. Other than that, Guardian's not really worth playing. I've got Gunblazer Saudi. Leveled him up to play. He's pretty decent in damage output. You've got to keep his buffs rolling. But he's got a really good tactical bonus for Pathfinder. He puts ammo in llamas. Pretty good tune. I got Harvester right here. She's probably the best melee ninja out there. She's got really powerful scythe buffs. Once again, melee is not that good in this game, so if you want to play melee, she's the tune to play though. I've got my controller. Controller was OP in Horde Bash or Challenge the Horde because of the decoy. You had almost 100% uptime on decoy if you had 2 controllers in the group. I think there's only 2 seconds of downtime if you had 2 controllers in the group. So 3 controllers had 100% uptime on decoy, but probably won't play him that much. I've got Heavy Base. Heavy Base is a really good constructor. He's probably my most played constructor along with Machinist. That Field of Base and Electric Floors and the Trap reload is really good. And then Machinist with her Trap damage buff. I've got 2 Machinists. I got Machinist Thora and then I got Machinist Harper. Pretty decent. I got Marine Corps Ramirez, not a very good tune. She's got a reload buff, but just an overall meme tune to play. She's a support specialist if you want to spam like rockets. I guess she's alright. Haven't really played her too much because it just doesn't have really good damage output. I got another Pathfinder right there. I've got the original Power Base Penny that came with the game. When you bought the limited edition, I played this tune a lot. I use her for her tactical bonus, and I play her sometimes. If you have these 4 constructors, if you have Machinist, Power Base, Heavy Base, and Mega Base, you don't really need another constructor. Those are the best constructors in my opinion. I've got a Raider. Oh, I've got multiple Raiders. So I've got Raider Headhunter, I've got Raider Raptor, and then I've got Redline Ramirez. You need 2 Raiders to make the class work properly, so I've got these. You can't recycle any of these. I can recycle this, but I play Raider Headhunter because I like Headhunter skin the best. I've got Beetlejuice, which is another Ranger, and then I've got a Recon Scout to use for the Pathfinder and Striker AC when I'm playing to get that additional loot chance. I've got a Shamrock Reclaimer. I had this originally leveled up until I got a Fragment Flurry. I like the skin on Fragment Flurry better. The Shamrock Reclaimer looks like a dunce to me, so I've got the Shotgunner. The Shotgunner has some buffs to shotguns and phase shift. She's a little bit fun to play. She doesn't have a lot of damage output, but she has more damage output than most Outlanders out there, so she's a fun class to play. I got Snuggle Specialist, just an awful class. She's a hybrid class, and all the hybrid classes I put next to Ted Shot Jess, they just don't have very much damage output because they don't do anything really well. I've got Special Forces. I played Special Forces for a long time before I got an Urban Assault. Special Forces is a really good class. It's got the best war cry with the least amount of cooldown on it. I got Stars and Stripes Headhunter. I leveled her up. Not a very good class, but she is a Headhunter, so I had to level her. We got Striker AC. Everybody likes a little bit of Striker AC. Probably one of my favorite tunes to play. Awesome Farmer. I got 2 Ted Shots leveled up. Once again, not a very good class, but I got them leveled because it's a fun class to play. I got Thunderstrike Scorch for the tactical bonus to use with Harvester Sarah. Harvester Sarah, the Shadow Stance keeps, if you keep Shadow Stance rolling, this tactical bonus puts an infinite loop on your shield, putting out an AoE that stuns all of the mobs around you. So if you're standing on bees, it continually refreshes as long as you have Shadow Stance up. I got Trail Blaster Buzz for my Ranger support bonus. Not really good tune to play. She's got decent Teddy buffs and she's got Shock Tower, but I use her specifically for my Ranger support bonus. I've got Urban Assault. I mean, probably one of my most played tunes. I've got, the Urban Assault has the highest damage output in the game by far. It is going to take a lot for Epic to dethrone her. They're going to have to try really hard. And then most of this other stuff is just stuff that I leveled up. Like, I leveled this Blade Storm Enforcer up to 82 to try it out, and I tried it out, and it was just literally awful. I couldn't just bring myself to level it to 130. So and then I have Energy Thief. I really want to level this one up to 130. I played her a little bit. She's a pretty decent tune, but I haven't had the time to level her up the rest of the way. She's got a decent Dragon Slash. She's got some good single target perks, but she's a decent all-around tune. I've got Lotus Assassin Sarah. She's alright. Haven't leveled her up past 82, just really no reason to. And then I have a Ranger Deadeye at 82. The rest are just tunes that I have lying around. I pretty much have everything in the game in reference to heroes, either in my inventory or in the collection book. But let's see. So we did schematics and heroes. What should we'll move on to survivors. All right. Let's look at squads with survivors though. We'll look at squads first. So all of my squads are legendaries with mythics in the leader. I have all matching survivor bonuses, so I'm at 125.42. I've got the 2 survivors that are mythics that Epic has recently put out. You can see right there, there's the first one, there's the second one. I got Joel. And once again, all of my survivors are legendaries with mythic leads, and then I have the 2 legendary, or the 2 mythics that Epic put out. So 125.42% is the highest possible you can go. On all of my skill trees, I have all of the skill trees maxed out and all of the research tiers maxed out, and then Horde is maxed out, so no really reason to go in there and show you guys. I have everything that you can possibly get from those. Collection book, moving through the collection book. I have, for the most part, everything you can put in the collection book. I have put in the collection book unless I have it in my collection and I'm actively using it. There's a few here and there that I don't have. I don't know why don't have this blue ninja. I probably auto recycle all of the blue stuff I get. That's probably the only reason why I don't have them. I have all of flintlock weapons in the book. Let's see. You can see I have all the heroes in the book. I think the only hero that I don't have in the book is going to be Phase Scout, but I'm actively using Phase Scout right now. I could probably put her in the book if I want because I have Rook. As a matter of fact, we'll just put her in the book right now. So, yeah. Oh, I got some things from the collection book. Oh, really useful stuff right here. Let's see what else I have. Oh, more useful stuff. Oh, yeah. Just give it to me, baby. Alright, so I got Phase Scout. So I have all of the vanilla heroes in the book. Alright, so people... I've got all of these defenders slotted. They're really useful part of the game right here. So I've got all of those slotted. The survivors, I've got all of the survivors slotted and the lead survivors slotted. The mythics or uniques, there's a few that I don't have. I think I had them at one time, but I recycled them to get the resources back so I can level stuff up. I do have a couple of spare, but I don't have these 3 right here. Traps, I have every trap in the game, in the book collection. Oh my god, what's going on? So I don't have these 2 for some reason. It's always the blues and the purples. It's because I auto recycle blues and purples that I don't have those in the book. So keep an eye out, and I'll keep an eye out and put those in the book. So I've got all of the assault rifles in the book. I don't have that many crystal weapons in the book. Right there, you can see I have a siege breaker in the book. I have a hunter killer in the book. Let's see what the rolls are. Oh, I was looking for this. All right, this is where it is. So I do have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 roll hunter killer in the book. I was looking for this the other day and I couldn't find it. So it's a crystal weapon that's in the book. One of the only ones that I have in the book. Moving on to shotguns, I've got all of the shotguns collection booked. I don't think I have... Nope, don't have any crystal shotguns slotted. Let's see, what else? Pistols, got all of the pistols in the book. For those of you that are looking around, the book, if you put a bunch of stuff in the collection book is a great place to look for guns that you need affliction or snare on. You pull them out of the book and put them through the perk recombobulator and see if they have snare or affliction, and then you can put them back in the book for only 20 V-Bucks. So just keep that in mind. That is a great way to find some snare and affliction out there. Don't have any pistols that are crystalled in the book. Snipers, I got all the sniper rifles. I don't think I have any. Nope, no crystal sniper rifles slotted. Let's see, explosive weapons. Yep, there's only 6 of them, so I got all of those in the book. There's no... Oh yeah, you can't crystal explosive weapons. Got all of the swords in the book. Nope, no crystal swords. I think I could possibly put one in there. All of the axes I have slotted. I don't think I have any crystal axes. Nope. So at some point I probably got to start working on these crystal weapons. No motivation to, because the collection book has... I mean, you just saw the rewards of level 254 and they were not that good. So really no reason to work on, you know, crystal weapons. I guess if Epic put some some better rewards, you know, past 200, people would have motivation to, but there's really no motivation to put like crystal weapons in the book. You can see I have all of the hardware slotted. Scavenger items, right? I have a purple that I'm going to upgrade to legendary that I'm going to put in the book right now, but for some reason I don't have greens and blues. I don't know if they didn't drop from the birthday llamas or what, but you can see I've got all the purples, missing out on a couple legendaries. The buzz cut, I'm using all the buzz cuts right now, so don't have those in the book. And then ground pounder, or not the ground pounder, the Huskbuster. I'm going to use the 2 Huskbusters, so I'm not going to put them in the book. Don't have any scavenger weapons crystalled in the book. I've got all of the Fort Nightmares heroes in the book except this. I have a purple that I'm going to upgrade to legendary and put in the collection book. But really no reason to right now. Once again, the collection book rewards are not very good. I've got all of these guys slotted right here. Holiday, okay, so I got all the holiday heroes in the book. I've got Ralphie's Revenge in the book. Don't have a crystal Ralphie's Revenge in the book. Vacuum tube weapons, I got all of those in the book. Don't have any crystal ones in the book. Let's see, tube axes, tube spear, yep, got all those in the book. I can put this vacuum tube sword in the book, but really no motivation to. Vendor tech. If you guys booked this vendor tech shotgun, once again, it's a great place to pull this out of the book right here. If you have it, only 20 V-Bucks. Let's see, don't have any crystal ones in the book. Once again, vendor tech hammer. If you've got this vendor tech hammer in the book, great place to pull it out. And once again, none of these are crystalled. All of the storm heroes, I have them in the collection book. Let's see what else. Storm zone heroes, hydraulic weapons. I've got my hydraulic, all the hydraulic weapons in the book. My Hydra is right there where it belongs. And my crystal Hydra is right there where it belongs. Best place for the Hydra, most effective place is right here in the collection book, increasing that collection level. Although the rewards are very, very shitty, it is way more effective here in the book instead of using it on your person. Definitely. So spring it on. I've got all of these heroes in the book right here. All of these right here are leveled up. I could put them in the book because I really don't use these 3 heroes, but really, once again, no reason to. We got Spring Folk. Let's see, Chinese New Year. I got all these heroes in the book. Let's see. Wow, I got all of the dragon weapons in the collection book. Nice. I don't think I have any crystal weapons in the book for that. And moving on to Cyber Set. I could put Ted Shot Jess in, but I really just, once again, don't have the motivation to. Cyber range weapons. All of those in the book. It's, once again, if you don't have a helium shotgun and you slotted it by accident, pull it out of the book. It's right there. Got all the melee weapons. Let's see. And no crystal cyber weapons. And the last event, the Blockbuster event, or the one before the event that's going on right now, the road trip event. So I've got all the Shadow Ops heroes in the book. Military weapons, I've got everything except the, what is this, the hacksaw and the bobcat in the book. I think I have crystal versions of those weapons. Oh yeah. So I've got a crystal hacksaw and a bobcat. Just really haven't put it in the book yet. But yeah, that's my collection book level. So 254 is the highest you can get right now with minimal crystal weapons in the book. You can get higher when you start putting crystal weapons in the book, but really no reason to. Let's see. These are all the spare survivors I got right now. I've got a bunch of mythics that I really haven't used. Don't really keep survivors around if they're below mythics. I don't really know why I keep the mythics around. I guess just for keepsake. I've got a bunch of legendary survivors that I have extra. I don't know, just because, in case they put another squad in there somewhere. I kept all these costume party attendees around, but I do have a bunch of legendaries around in case they put another squad in, or for some reason. I don't know why I kept them around, but I kept them around. There they are. I have 15 million survivor XP just in case we have to level stuff up. And then what else? My defenders, right? Haven't really. I leveled up a defender and I used it, and I was like, these aren't very good, so no reason to keep them around. But I do have some just in case defenders get a lot better, but no really reason to level any of those up. My backpack it looks the same as anybody else's backpack. I don't have a lot of stuff. I've got a little bit of, sunbeam. I've got a shitload of freaking, char black. I've got some oxidized. I've also got some oxidized in my bank. I've got some sunbeam in my bank. But nothing really interesting about my backpack or storage. What else? What else do we have to look at? We looked at schematics, heroes, survivors, defenders, backpack. Oh, my resources. We'll look at transforms first. These transforms, I haven't really done them in ages. Really no reason to when you can buy them out of the collection book. I guess if you have a transform around, you can do it just because you have the transform around, but you can see I have 7 traps right there and a spear. Not really ever going to do the spear, and I have all the traps in the game, so really no reason to do those transforms right there. A lot of these are infinite transforms, and most of them are like transforms that that are one-time uses. Resources, here's a good one. I got 200 legendary flux saved up. I was going to save up 300 so I can pull Phase Scout out of the book, but you can see I just booked my Phase Scout, so really no reason to. I've got some legendary perk up right hither. Hard to keep this legendary and epic. I use it faster than I can make it, so I've got some epic flux right here and some epic perk up. I always get flux and perk up wrong. You go back to some of the videos I've done and I call perk up flux and flux perk up. I've got 1.28k Eye of the Storm, 1.97k Lightning in a Bottle, 1.93k Pure Drops of Rain, and 587 Storm Shards. I have about 10,000 daily coins. Really no reason to use daily coins right now for me because I have all the weapons and traps in the game. I wish they would put something else on these daily coins so we can use it in some other way. I've got a bunch of rare flux. Don't know why I buy this. I just buy it just to buy it. I do have some rare perk up and some uncommon perk up. I'm glad they put that in the store. Got a little bit of road trip tickets. Got a lot of XP teammate boosts. Haven't really found teammates to use these on since all of the people I roll with are pretty much 125 by now. I've got XP boosts for myself. I'm about to go over 1,000 right there, so I got myself covered if they ever increase the commander level cap. I've got some amp up, some fire up, and some frost up. I've only re-rolled 1 weapon, so really no reason to have these. I've got 184k hero XP. This is the only XP that I ever go low on for some reason. I've got 1k people. Stop using people. Really no reason to use people. I've got almost 5k re-perk right now. This stuff, it's really hard to get. I keep buying it every week in the store. But this is the farm right there. It used to be Pure Drops of Rain, but the re-perk is just brutal. I've got almost 5 mil schematic XP. Once again, 15 mil survivor XP. I've got 18,600 training manuals. Yes, I have purchased a few llamas. I've got some trap designs and then some weapon designs. 19k. Wow, I've got 19k weapon designs. That comes from recycling epics and rares and all of that. Legendaries. I've recycled a bunch of weapons. This stuff, it might seem like intimidating at first, but once you get to the point where you're recycling everything, this stuff piles up and piles up. But that is about going to do it. That is my account. Moving on to the quests, you can see that I have 3 daily quests. I just have the event road trip, and really the only thing I need to do is challenge the horde. I've just been chipping away, or not challenge the horde, the hold the door stages. These go up to 20, so I just kind of been chipping away at this. I haven't really been attacking this because I just do it as it comes, but for the most part, like, completely done with the game. No SSDs left to do. My completed quest is pretty big. I've done literally everything in the game. I just got the event reoccurring missions, the daily reoccurring missions, and this challenge is the only thing I have left to do. What else? Oh, I've got a llama I haven't opened. I think that's the stuff that I just claimed. Oh, Super People's out today, so if you guys need Super People llamas, buy them up, man. This is the only llama that you should be buying right now. I mean, everything else you can obtain from the game. The mythic and legendary leads are the only thing you can't obtain from the game, and at least until Survive the Storm comes back out. But that about sums it up, man. You can see my setup right there. I got Rook right there in the slot, the tactical slot of my dragon. But yeah, that about sums it up. That is my account after 300 days of playing the game. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all of the support you give my channel. And as always, folks, stay classy.